All right, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rekakodash, giving double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone. Shalom to the hopefully elect. Shalom to all the brothers out here laboring in this truth with sincerity. Shalom to the few sisters that watch. It's coming back with another lesson. Was sent this article, by a brother. It came out yesterday and it's by way of New York Post. It says Amazon is planning to replace more than 500,000 jobs, which is 500,000, more than 500,000 jobs in the U.S. with robots, according to the new report. It says warehouse automation will enable the e-commerce giant to avoid hiring over 600,000 people in the coming years. Executives told Amazon's board in 2024, according to the New York Times. It says that's even though the company reportedly expects to sell twice as many products by 2033. So the robots are taking the jobs, man. It says the shift from human to robots is expected to unfold over the coming years, according to Tuesday's article. Amazon plans to avoid hiring 160,000 workers by 2027, saving the company about 30 cents on each item it ships. Report says hundreds of thousands of additional roles will be automated by 2033. So it's getting ugly out here, man. It's getting ugly out here. And, this has been, these devil's plans for a while now. This is Bill Gates on Jimmy Fallon. And he spoke about, robots replacing humans. So let's get it.
Everyone's talking about AI, and that's the big topic. Everyone's like, how's it going to take over, and all this stuff, and it's bad or it's good or we don't know. What are the pros and cons for, in layman's terms, for someone like me?
So I love the way it'll drive innovation forward, but I think,
And this is fair use.
it's a little bit unknown.
Yeah.
Will we be able to shape it? And so legitimately, people are like, wow, this is a bit scary. It's completely new territory.
I mean, will we still need humans?
Not for most things. This is a bit scary. It's completely new territory.
I mean, will we still need humans?
Not for most things. Territory.
I mean, will we still need humans?
Not for most things. We'll decide.
I mean, hosting a talk show, definitely. You're gonna need. Really?
Well, we'll decide, like baseball. We won't want to watch computers play baseball.
That's correct. Yeah.
And, so there'll be some things that we reserve for ourselves. But in terms of making things and moving things and growing food, over time, those will be basically solved problems.
Yeah.
The crypto market.
So you heard the devil, man, and he say, we will decide. Who is he talking about? Because he's not talking about the audience. He's not talking about Jimmy Fallon. Who is he talking about? Clearly he's talking about the wicked elites. And the audience did, they wasn't even in an uproar over this man said, you won't need humans for anything. They was laughing with it. So let's go to the book of Proverbs, because this is the thing, man. You're going to have to truly worship Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. So we'll start out in the book of Proverbs chapter 18, and we'll go to verse 10. It says, the name of the Lord Yahweh is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. In the times to come, you're going to have to really, really depend on Yahweh Shem Yahushua for everything, man. It won't be any half-stepping, no wavering faith. You're going to have to truly believe that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to deliver you from the things to come. Because it's getting ugly out here, man. It's getting real ugly out here. Let's see. And Salakia. So, you got the SNAP benefits thing going on, where they about to cut this off. As of November 1st, Medicaid will be impacted. And this article came out today at 4:19. So let's see what it says. It says, as the government shutdown persists, funding for supplemental nutrition assistance program benefits are at risk. It says in states across the country, SNAP benefits, formerly known as food stamps, are funded by the Department of Agriculture. The federal government shares the cost of administering the program with states, while states operate their own programs. Let's see. It says states such as Texas, Florida, New York, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and New Jersey have warned that if the shutdown persists, SNAP recipients will lose access to benefits starting November 1st. And, these are major states. These are huge. Texas, these are big, heavily populated states right here, man. So you're going to see a whole lot of people in an uproar. Texas, Florida, New York, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, New Jersey, man, it's those places are heavily populated. It says, according to the USDA, an average of 41.7 million people receive benefits monthly in fiscal 2024. It says that year the federal government spent $99.8 billion on SNAP, with a monthly average of $187 per participant. Salakia. It says Florida Department of Children and Family, for instance, said November SNAP benefits will not be issued until the shutdown ends. Texas, the state's Health and Human Services Commission noted that if the shutdown continued past Monday, November benefits will not be issued. So they have until Monday, man. It's already Thursday. So if they don't come to a solution by Monday, Texas would not have the benefits. It says New York Governor Kathy Hochul said in a release on October 16th that nearly 3 million residents of her state will lose access to SNAP benefits starting November 1st. And this is going to have an impact, not only on the people, but as well as the stores, man. People are going to lose jobs. These, stores, what they call them, big box stores or something like that, Walmart, Target, these places like this, man, Sam's, BJ's, they won't be able to pay their employees, man, if nobody's going there. That's a whole lot of people, man. We talking $99.8 billion, not in a month, but, that's a lot of money, man. So let's go to the book of Ecclesiastes. And we'll go to verse 12, start from the top. It says, remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not. So the evil days are definitely here, man, knocking on the door, And hey, you don't have long. You don't have long. It says, remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. So we're coming to that time, man. Jacob's trouble. We're in it. And it's only going to get worse. It says, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. It says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because there are few. and those that look out of the windows be darkened. So we coming in the days where the grinders will cease. The work is slowing up, man. That's Amazon alone taking 500,000 jobs out of the workforce. And we just saw what 300,000 so-called Negro women lost their jobs, man, when Trump took office. So, man, it's getting ugly out here. And the only way that you're going to be able to make it, first and foremost, you're going to have that hedge of protection around you from Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And we know most of these people out here, man, they don't even believe in Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Let alone even know the name of the Lord, man. Verse 4 says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. Whew, man, we right here, man. The sound of the grinding is low. The sound of the grinding is low, and it's getting lower. Nobody's safe out here, man. Nobody's job is safe. Any given day, this devil will say, we want to replace your job with AI, robots. We go and automate it. Especially these warehouse jobs, man. Jake is really highly concentrated within, warehouse jobs. Depending on the location. I know here in, Metro Atlanta, man, most of the warehouses are occupied by so-called Black Latino employees, man. So you're replacing the jobs. There's going to be, people out of the workforce. This is not only Amazon is going to do this, all of them are going to do this, man. All right, the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 4 again, it says, and the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall raise up at the voice of a bird, and all of the daughters of music shall be brought low. And we know that's going on, man. Just saw a clip of that chick, Sukiyana, and it's a disgrace, man. It's a total disgrace. So, matter of fact, it's only getting worse out here. Let's go to Instagram. Salakia. Let's see. Had it queued up, but let's see. Right here. Says the city of New Orleans is running out of money. Officials warn there might be not enough money. Salakia. Officials warn there might not be enough to pay police, firefighters, and city workers for the rest of the year. After auditor reveals $160 million deficit and only $8 million left in surplus. Man, it's getting bad out here. It's getting bad out here.
Born, and if the vehicle was mine.
Gabby Killett says that it's due in part to the government shutdown.
While the mayor's chief administrative officer, Joe Threat, says that the city's cash flow issue is worse than city leaders thought. Mayor-elect Helena Moreno and Councilman Joe Giarrusso say they held an urgent meeting with Threat this morning. The council members explained Threat said they may not be able to afford payroll for the rest of the year. Giarrusso says it's because the city fronts money for FEMA and that due to limitations from contracts and the federal government shutdown, reimbursements have lagged. He says the situation requires immediate action.
This is on a super compressed time frame now where we're learning information on a Tuesday. We're going to have a budget committee meeting on Wednesday to discuss the particulars so we can suss it all out and find solutions, and then Thursday potentially taking some action.
This is yet another hit to the budget, and so now, we just need to
Are calling for an emergency budget here.
ensure that the public knows that there's something else that's not good that's about to be discussed tomorrow, and that we all need to work together to figure out solutions.
The risk to payroll comes after a legislative auditor found the city has a $160 million deficit. Geruso and Marino assure city employees that resolving this issue is a top priority. They say they hope to do so with legislative action and that they will discuss the matter with city officials tomorrow at 3 in the afternoon. It's not clear how much longer the city can pay its workers if this issue isn't resolved. We reached out to Mayor LaToya Cantrell's administration about these budget concerns, but didn't immediately hear back.
Ensure that the public knows that there's something else.
Oh, Salaki. Yeah, that's what, they're $160 million, you know, in the hole, and they only got 8. So where are they going to get $152 million from to pay these people for the rest of the year? Man, you know, so it's getting bad out here, man. And it's all prophecy, man. Yahweh Shem Yahushua is bringing forth these prophecies, man. You know, this book of Isaiah chapter 31, it says, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots because they are many, and in horsemen because they are very strong, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord Yahweh. But the point of the matter is, you know, these people have relied on, you know, Babylon the Great, you know, to allow them to live comfortably. You know, even in these jobs, you know, these people get comfortable. You know, you tell them the truth, even in casual conversation, you know, not even speaking on the truth, you know, because they definitely not ready for that. But, you know, I remember a while back, you know, you tell people, man, everything gonna be cashless after a while. Oh, man, not in my lifetime. You know, but now, you know, if you go to the city of Atlanta and you go to a major stadium or, you know, event, they don't even take cash. They don't even accept cash. So, you know, this is where it's headed, man. You got too many unbelievers out here that's going to be caught off guard, you know. Like now, you know, these people never prepared or never thought that their SNAP benefits would even be cut off. You know, they never thought that, man. They always thought that they would continue to have these benefits. And now all of a sudden, Donald Trump just snatched the rug from under them, man. You know, but we know it's all order out of chaos. You know, because if these SNAP benefits don't come in and people continue to lose jobs, it's going to be all out warfare in the streets, man, in the neighborhoods and everywhere, you know. So it's going to usher in martial law. You know, that's soon to come, man. The book of 2nd Ezra chapter 15, man, is playing out, you know, right before our eyes. So, you know, it's getting ugly. It's getting bad. You know, brothers just got to stay strong, man. You know, hey, you know, stay strong and stay prayed up, you know, because more than likely, eventually, this stuff is going to affect us, man, one way or another, you know. So with that being said, you know, we want to constantly give our praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem Rekakwadash. Shalom.